This week on XOP's Whitetail Addictions, we introduce you to two addicts from opposite sides of the country, but with the same goal in mind: harvesting big, mature, giant whitetails.
Awesome.
XOP presents Whitetail Addictions. XOP presents Whitetail Addictions.
My name is Troy Pottenger. I'm 44 years old and I live in northern Idaho. I'm blessed with an amazing family, my wife Dee, my oldest son Jess, my youngest son Tyson. They're 13 and 10. Outside of my faith and my family, there's nothing that I would rather be doing than bow hunting big, mature mountain whitetails. As a professional, I work in public education as a teacher and as a coach. I also own my own private business where I work with timber, and I also work with food plots and wildlife habitat enhancement. As a whitetail addict, I work year-round in the woods, scouting, shed hunting, hanging tree stands, filming, prepping, and hunting. I'm very fortunate in my life to have the time, goes along with my everyday working job, I have the time to pursue whitetail bucks. You know, my addiction to whitetail hunting started 30 plus years ago. And I fell in love with whitetails when we moved to our North Idaho ranch when I was a kid. These deer have always captured my attention, and it was the only thing I ever really wanted to hunt. You know, these are mountain bucks out here where I hunt. They live in the mountains. They have endless country to hide out in. And it just makes for an incredible challenge to hunt these deer with a bow and arrow. It's September 1st, opening day of early archery in the state of Washington, and just got done with a heck of a last 2 days, a roller coaster ride on a big buck that I call Poncho over in Idaho. Old buck, real old buck, probably about a 150 class max, but real old deer, 7 years old, had a lot of trail cam videos, everything of him, 5-year history with the deer, known him since he was real young, 4 years, kind of trailing him at 4.5 and on to try to get him. And anyway, got a shot at him. Got him. Wow. Awesome. I thought I made a great shot. Got down out of the tree stand a half hour later. No arrow, no blood, nothing. Backed out, went in this morning for 7 hours. No indication of any blood, no evidence of any hit on the video, even though when I initially shot it, just felt good. I thought it was good. So we're hoping that he's still alive, and we think he is. I never did find my arrow, so either my arrow deflected, I did find a limb that was directly in our pathway, pretty high, and I took a couple pictures of it, and it definitely, the bottom of the limb looked like something had hit it. We're hoping that that's the case, that there was a deflection, and the fact that the arrow just flew out through the woods, and that's the reason why I couldn't find the arrow. We're hoping that it's not buried in him somewhere, obviously. But with no blood, not even a speck of blood after 7 hours of searching. I'm pretty sure that it was a clean miss. We raced over to Washington here to get in a tree stand we've had set since a couple years ago. And we're just going to climb in this evening and see what happens. Kind of the same scenario as Idaho. Mountain country, hunting big saddles on high ridges where deer like to cross through and travel in the evenings and the mornings. So we're going to get up in here, get cleaned up, and then head on up the rest of the way and get in the tree stand.
Got a great wind. Got a wind out of the southwest, blowing everything back this way. Set up on a big ridge, looking back here into a north. A lot of deer bed back down in this north. They come out into this south face in the evening to eat.
Hunting the elusive mountain bucks of the northwestern United States isn't what we're used to seeing. But Troy Pottenger has been chasing these beasts for years, and he knows how to get it done.
It was getting later in September, and we were watching the winds every day on our AccuWeather, and we got the right wind one day to hunt a stand in eastern Washington we felt really good about. And I believe it was September 18th, we headed in to hunt probably our favorite tree stand out there that produces the most movement in the evenings.
This is an unbelievable transition zone through this saddle. Tyson had already made a game plan. If he whacks one early, usually the younger bucks come by first. If he whacks one early, then we're gonna calm down and get settled and wait it out till last shooting light and hopefully pull a double tonight, which would be really cool for father and son, for us to pull a double off. I'm really proud of him. He scouted these deer with me, shed hunted. He and I found over 20 sheds in here this year, and Tyson found half of them just in this area. We found over 100 total whitetail sheds in North Idaho, eastern Washington.
And it wasn't 30 minutes in the tree. We had a cow and a calf elk come by, and that archery elk season for my son had just closed. And we had an elk come in at about 7 to 8 yards and walk by our stand, and she winded just a little bit. She didn't spook too bad. She just turned around and went back into the timber. But the way the evening was looking, we were pretty confident we were going to see more animals coming our way.
Slightly quartering to me, but man, I had a great angle. Big buck, big body deer. I think he's at least a 5-point. I'm shivering.
So we climbed out of the tree stand. It started to get dark. We put our headlamps on, and We got on the blood trail immediately, 32 paces from the tree. It was a great stream of blood. We picked the arrow up 10 yards from where we hit him.
I'm with my son Tyson here. He's on the camera. We are on great blood. We just picked up the arrow. We got a full pass through. Try not to shine the light on you too bright here so that we don't get a glare on the camera, but we found our buck. He's literally 60 yards below the tree stand. That's a big old mountain buck. This deer's gonna go 200 pounds or better live weight easy. He's got a beautiful cape. Just an awesome buck. Awesome whitetail. Wow, what a deer. What a great mountain buck.
It's an evening I will never forget for the rest of the years of my life. It was the first time my son got to be with me when he got to see his dad knock down a nice buck, and I can't wait for the day I get to watch him do it.
Now we switch gears and head across the U.S. to Ohio and introduce you to addict Mike Grenier as he's in pursuit of a giant he calls Niner.
My first experiences with hunting was with my stepdad when I was probably 8 or 9 years old. We would go out and do some duck hunting, actually. I'd follow him, and he'd have some success or whatever, but that kind of got my feet wet. That just kind of made me wonder what else there was as far as hunting goes. He started bow hunting after that, which got my interest a lot more. He would bring home some does and small bucks and stuff like that he would kill, but I just thought it was the neatest thing to be able to go in the woods and harvest an animal like that with a bow and arrow. I started bow hunting about when I was 16 years old, I would say. After that, I think it was 3 years into it is when I killed my first deer, and then my 4th year is when I killed my first buck. It was October the 28th, right before dark. I had this deer come out that I self-filmed. I put a good shot on him. We found the deer the next morning. I thought it was a 140-inch buck. I really didn't know. Even watching the video, I knew it was big, but I guess I didn't realize how big it was until the next day. So I mean, it was, to this day, it's still my biggest bow kill. Bow hunting to me is a huge part of my life. There isn't a day that doesn't go by that I don't do something regarding whitetails, whether it's, picking up bone in the spring to putting food plots out, checking cameras, running mineral. I mean, you name it, going out of state hunting, planning my next out of state hunt. I mean, whatever it is, it's something that, it goes from a fall hobby to, a year-round addiction. I mean, it just consumes everything that I do. It seems like outside of family and work, bow hunting and deer hunting is definitely my number one priority.
It's October the 8th today. Hunting over a food plot. Then me and Justin got in here. There's 3 good bucks over here we've been watching all summer long. But there we go, ribcage. It's a stud 2-year-old. 140-inch 2-year-old, 30-inch 2-year-old. We got a stud 3-year-old in here named Medusa. Triple main beam, he's probably 150. And then the deer raptor, he's the older buck. He's 4, if not 5. His name's Niner. I think he's got 11 or 12 scoreable, but he's a mainframe 9-point. He's the older buck. He kind of rolls the roost. So we've got a couple daytime pictures of him these past couple days in here. All these deer have been working this food plot, so hopefully it comes out.
The first night I went in there to kill that deer, I had another deer come out, gave me 30-yard shot as well. He actually would have probably scored a little bit better. He was a 3-year-old that we knew for sure. So we elected to pass him. I mean, it was a hard decision because, I mean, it was a big buck by everybody's standards. It's just him being young, that deer would have been something special coming into this coming year or the year after if you'd got to that age. The Niner actually came out. He came out with those other bucks, and they were eating some standing beans. And then he started to chase one of the other smaller bucks out of the field. So he presented, or I knew he was going to present me with a shot. And I ranged it a few times, and he was right at, I thought, 50 yards. Being, I think, a little bit farther than that, but my shot missed right underneath his belly. Short and sweet because I already got a small buck in the field plot. It's about 4:30. I have a GoPro coming through right now. I'm supposed to get down to the 20s tonight, so that's pretty cold for this time of year. I'm supposed to get down in the mid to upper 40s by 6, 7 o'clock tonight. I look over to my right, and there Niner was. He was on the food plot, and he was making his way over. Gave me a 20-yard broadside shot. I mean, I put double long shot on him, excellent shot. He never took off running. He spun around in front of me, and he started walking, but he was still looking for a fight. So I started questioning myself. I'm like, did I put the shot on him? I thought I did. So then I got another arrow ready and spun the camera back over to him, and I got another arrow on him, and then he ended up running in the timber. So I'm sitting thinking to myself, that second arrow was sticking out of him, and I'm like, man, I was aiming for the opposite shoulder, but I don't think I got the penetration I needed in case that first arrow missed his mark. So I was kind of questioning the whole setup. So I watched the footage and reviewed it and realized that, I smoked him on that first shot like I thought, but you just second guess. I'm excited. My first arrow looked like it was double long. Heart's pounding. Gave it about an hour and a half. We went back and we took the stand down and off we went in the timber looking for him. And here's the original shot. Arrow's still laying here. And you can see it's just covered covered in blood. You can smell it too. I mean, we believe after watching the footage, the original shot was double long. It actually pretty low, but we still think it was double long. We're gonna get on the blood here. It's starting to rain, so we're gonna try to get on this blood pretty quick and maybe recover them now.
Oh yeah.
Smoke City.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. It's time to hold some horns.
Pull that bad boy up there for the first time.
Oh man. Well, here we are, the end result of a good plan we put together. This is a buck that I missed October 10th. A deer we caught Niner. Mature buck, 4, maybe even 5. I missed him on the 10th, 52-yard shot, and I came in tonight to redeem myself. Proud to have this deer. I mean, we work hard to get this deer, that's for sure. Good management plan. I mean, you hunt when the time's right, and you stay strict on letting good deer grow to be great deer. So this is the mature buck on the property, and this is the deer we came in to kill. And that's exactly what we did. It's really cool when you can share that experience with a good friend. I mean, all the hard work that goes into it, finally, it paid off. I mean, it was October 22nd, and we're both tagged out in the state of Ohio. We were looking forward to Wisconsin and Kansas. So, yeah, it was a good hunt.